what do you think I think of Rio 2? It's an inoffensive sequel to a movie I didn't even really get into in the first place, and it isn't painful to watch, but isn't fun either. But can I really get upset? It's a little kid's movie. Like, it's not even really trying that hard, and in the low standards that it sets for itself not trying that hard, it kind of acquits itself. It's bright, it's colorful, it's got some okay songs. It's Little Caesars. It's not that good, but for what it is, it does what it should okay, and kids would like it fine. Blue and Jewel are still in Rio, now raising a family, but they discover there might actually be more bluebirds like them. Sightings of blue feathers have been discovered in the Amazon, so they decide to make a trip out there. When they arrive, not only do they discover there are a ton of bluebirds, but Jewel's father, played by Andy Garcia, seems to be there as well, and they have a new home. But Blue, being raised as a pet for so many years, finds it hard to fit in. While that's going on, Blue and Jewel's original owners are discovering an evil plot for a bunch of, yeah, you know the drill, big bad businessmen coming on in and chopping down the rainforest. On the surface, this doesn't sound like much of a plot, and yeah, it really isn't, but I will give the film credit. They do have a lot of subplots that at least keep it a little lively. There's kind of this territorial thing going on between the birds, which leads to this big pit of death off that really is just a soccer game. The two humans aren't as funny as they were in the first film, but they do get a laugh here and there. Nigel, the boring villain from the first film, actually turns out to be one of the best things in the film. He wants to get revenge after somehow surviving going into the propeller of a plane. I don't know how that's supposed to be possible, even in a cartoony movie. But this means he can't fly, so he's teamed up with a stupid anteater who can't talk, and a poisonous frog who has a crush on him. But, as you'd imagine, she can't ever touch him because she's poisonous. And seeing how Kristen Chenoweth voices her, you can bet there's a few songs about this, and they're all pretty funny.
You're so near and yet so far.
Like a star.
This is a very bizarre team up, but that's exactly why it's so entertaining. I really like seeing these three together. I'm noticing more and more around this time with animated films, whenever they needed a sequel and they didn't know where to go, they would always just kind of go visit the parents. Like, that was a very common trope. I never put it together until I saw this film. Somebody always has a father or a mother or both that were lost and suddenly they're connected again, but they find that they become different people and they don't always fit in, and that's where the conflict comes in. And yeah, again, I guess it's done okay, and once again, it isn't just focused on this one element. There are a few other things going on, but they're all pretty mundane, and it's stuff we've seen before. Like, I blinked for a second, and suddenly there's an audition for a talent show, and I have no idea why. I just totally missed what the purpose of this was. Nigel even auditions for it, and it's all part of his evil plan to get revenge, and even though this is one of the subplots in the movie, we never see the talent show. I have no idea why this is here, except just to get some funny animation and some kooky songs, and I don't know, did Sing come out at that point? I guess maybe they're trying to cash in on that, I'm not sure. With that said, some of the song sequences are decent, like the animation of the birds flying does look really nice, and the Amazon looks nice, and Rio looks nice, and I don't know. There's really nothing in this for me, but I don't know how much is supposed to be in here for me. It's hard to rate a film like this, because I don't think any adults would get into it, but I think kids would be totally satisfied, and there's nothing really bad in it. Like, it's not going to teach a bad life lesson or bad humor or anything. But my guess is it's not going to leave that much of an impact on your kids either. They're not going to walk away with like this incredible lesson that they remember, or these super hummable songs or anything like that. It's a tablet movie, something you give your kid while you're driving. You just want to be quiet and distracted for a little bit. But, you know, you don't want to show him Simba's dad dying on it. You just want to give him something light and mindless. And I guess it does that fine. Is that much of a glowing recommendation? No, honestly, it's hard to even say it is a recommendation, but I think this film exists just to be a little bit of entertainment for little kids for a short amount of time, and it does all that in a perfectly serviceable way. For a film that exists, it sure does exist.